It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll get to see Tyler Lockett. He was simply superb last time out, going for almost 300 yards. It's the Seahawks and the Saints, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 23.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin alongside my good friend Charles Davis. And CD, for as much as the defender in you probably hates to hear it, the NFL is a league ruled by offenses, and we've got a couple of good ones about ready to do battle here.
Well, you know me quite well. Maybe one day I can get to be commissioner. I can flip that around a little bit, and we can just talk about defense. But let's face it, we're talking about two units that rank in the top 5 in the league. So I think this might be a game where you forget about the field goals. You'd better finish your drives with touchdowns if you want to keep up with the Joneses on the other sideline.
The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Fields it right around the goal line. Oh, good-looking return set up here. Running room at the 50. Look out. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
That kind of kickoff return is something we call a momentum play. So if you're the offensive coordinator and you have a script of plays that you plan to run, you may change it up now because you may decide to go for some bigger strikes and try and keep the momentum going.
As Seattle's offense comes onto the field, we'll see a 10-year veteran under center, guy who broke into the league as a starter back in 2013, Geno Smith.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep a string of good games going right here.
Here we go, here we go. Hurry, hurry.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The end result, 21 yards. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big gain there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for him after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Returning right back to Lockett. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Well, he's one of the top receivers in the game, Charles, so no surprise here on the opening drive. They want to get him involved, and he has catches on back-to-back plays.
And, Brandon, I look at it from the defense's perspective. You know he's one of the top receivers in the game. You've got to find ways to slow him down because if he gets into high gear, he's going to shred you all game long.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, Smith. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
So here come the Saints now for their first drive.
They're led out by a three-time Pro Bowler, owner of over 35,000 passing yards in 11 seasons, the veteran Andy Dalton.
I love his football IQ. I love his ability to have people rally around him. And as he likes to remind me all the time when I get ready to call one of his games, I can run it a little bit too. A nice presence to have on your team.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. Now, somehow he was able to sidestep that first tackler, but still hit and taken down behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Kamara off the draw.
And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. He gets this one to Johnson.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Here's Dalton. Incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There's a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage. And that throw had no shot.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, good for the Saints, first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Dalton now to pass. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. A great return there of 22 yards.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field ready for their 2nd drive.
And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Delay of game, offense.
Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Forced out to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw.
There's Chris Olave.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away.
This is taken at the 23.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. There's Tyler Lockett and the rest of his Seattle teammates coming out for the next possession.
Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? He's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out, because one of the best ways to slow down production is to go to zone and double, triple team, put a number of people in the area that you expect him to run into. But man-to-man, every receiver believes he's going to win that battle. And you know what they all do? They all keep kind of a book, you know, on what the defenders do, what their moves are, their best things. And he wants to be able to refer to that book and be one guy at a time.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up the 3rd down. Geno now to throw. He lets it fly for Lockett. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, a Louisiana native, Jarvis Landry. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Coming up in prime time here in Week 5, a couple of division rivalries on the docket, beginning tonight in the AFC North with the Bengals and Ravens from Baltimore at 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, Raiders and Chiefs from Arrowhead in the AFC West.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Passing, it's Dalton.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. To throw here, Dalton.
He still brings it in, off the tip here on the deep shot.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 28 yards.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Being chased out left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
A loss of 9 on the play.
On third down, here's Kamara. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. Here's Blake Gillikin now.
Blake Gillikin in formation for the Saints.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Tyler Lockett on the return. The Seahawks take over first and 10.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. He lets it fly for Lockett, and it's knocked away and incomplete. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. He lets it fly for Lockett. They've got his man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And it is now 21-0. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We begin up at First Energy Stadium. The LA Chargers paying a visit to take on Cleveland. And it's the Browns who have the lead in the second quarter. Deshaun Watson has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. 2 touchdown passes for Kirk Cousins there. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. 3 touchdown passes there for Trevor Lawrence. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half, and they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary, as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first 2 quarters.
Meanwhile, for the Saints, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit. Both teams going through their final halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football. And to bring you the second half from the Superdome, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. And that will be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taken in at the 22. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Mark that down as a punt return of 78 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Uchenna Nwosu able to record his 5th sack of the season. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. So Dalton now. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the Seahawks are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. But to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
From the 50, it's Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. On third down, here's Walker.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
On second down, it's Walker.
He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
They've had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Again, it's Walker.
And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first.
44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter. Second and 10.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So third and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Ken Walker, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 9-play drive.
And it was capped off by a touchdown run from the rookie, Ken Walker.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
His throw incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Now it's Lockett.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards.
And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. To throw is Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Walker. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Now Myers for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from the rookie, Kenneth Walker.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Andy Dalton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams.
Dalton's pass intercepted by the Seahawks.
Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the 2nd time.
You're right about it.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Seahawks add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes. Before the snap, they called for the heavy unit, right? 3 tight ends coming on the field, and they got the job done clearing the way.
The extra point now coming from Myers. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Saints coming out now to take the field.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something on the board and not get shut out.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11.
Throwing, Dalton. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The offense on 3rd down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
That's pulled in at the 32.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade is going to happen, but good thought. Demario Davis there on the stop. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. 132 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Ready, set.
And Walker once more.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Now Myers for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was capped off by a touchdown run from the rookie, Ken Walker.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Dalton here from the gun. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Here's Dalton. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete.
And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40.
But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0.
One last shot at the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. It's do or die for Dalton. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for the Seahawks, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, my